Raise your right hand, left hand on the Bible. You swear affirm that the testimony about to give the court shall be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Take a seat in the witness stand. State your name again for the record.
Barry McRoy, McRoy.
Chief McRoy, could you please tell the jurors where you work?
Work for Colleton County Fire and Rescue.
And what is your position?
I'm the fire chief.
The fire chief of Colleton County Fire and Rescue?
That is correct.
And how long have you worked at Colleton County Fire and Rescue?
29 years.
And about how many scenes do you think you have responded to over the years?
I have no idea. Many thousand.
What are some of the training that you need to do to be a paramedic or respond with fire and rescue?
Well, that has changed greatly over the years, but presently, to be a paramedic, you have to have been an EMT for, we recommend 2 years, which that's about a 500-hour course, and then you take a paramedic course, which is about 1,500 hours. In Colleton County, we require people to be cross-trained, so they have a 500-hour firefighter course as well.
And are you yourself a paramedic?
I am.
And how long have you been a paramedic?
Since 1981.
What would be the normal procedures when responding to a gunshot, to treat gunshot wounds or to a shooting?
Well, when you initially respond, the law enforcement that's responsible for that jurisdiction typically clears the scene to make sure that it's safe for the other responders. When we arrive, we want to evaluate the patients to make sure that if they've got some injuries that we can treat, we treat them, and we transport them to the closest trauma center.
So if someone has been shot, what would you normally do to initially treat that person?
We would control their bleeding, protect their airway, get them transported as quickly as possible. It may involve starting IVs. In Colleton County, we carry blood, so we could administer blood to the patient if they required it.
Did you respond to Moselle Road on June 7th of 2021?
I did.
And tell us about what you did when you got there.
I was on my way home from work, and I heard the sheriff's department on their radio dispatch units to the address in question, and they advised that there was 2 people shot. Shortly thereafter, they dispatched fire rescue units, and we have a standard protocol of what they send. There were multiple patients, so they dispatched 2 ambulances and put a helicopter on standby, and then a supervisor is also dispatched. We also send the closest fire station, which in that case was the one from Highlandton. I responded from Walterboro, and I did arrive ahead of everybody else. Dispatch had told us not to go onto the scene, so I staged about the 3900 block, and a few minutes later a deputy passed me, and I went in behind the deputy, which was Mr. Green that y'all listened to earlier.
And what did you see when you were driving onto the scene?
It was really dark. The had a long dirt driveway, and when we arrived, there was some kennels off to the left, and like a big barn with a 3-lane lean-to on the right-hand side.
Okay. Chief McRoy, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Tate's Exhibits 51, 49, 24, and 21. I just ask you to take a look at these pictures and tell me, are you familiar with those pictures?
Yes, ma'am. This does appear to be the accident scene.
These are true and accurate depictions of the crime scene that night.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, this time I would move Tate's 51, 49, 24, and 21 into evidence, with Tate's Exhibits 24 and 51 being sealed with the agreed upon placeholders.
Okay.
You're admitted without objection.
So, how you observed the victims when you got to the scene?
Deputy Green went through the scene first. He actually drove a little ways in between the kennels and the lean-to. It was very dark, so he needed his headlights to see what was going on there. There was animals in the kennels. I don't know how many, but there was also some chickens fluttering around on the equipment on the right-hand side. The body of a younger male subject was face down by the kennels. He had some very severe injuries to the head. And there was a female subject at the end of the lean-to. She was also face down with severe injuries to her head. And there was a gentleman standing off a little distance away from it, and he was on a cell phone and seemed very upset.
Did you recognize that gentleman?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was that?
Alex Murdaugh.
And how did you recognize him?
Have met him in the past on a professional basis because we have had to do depositions and such with his law firm.
Case Exhibit 21. Can you describe what the jury is looking at in this picture?
On the left-hand side of the photograph is the covered body of Paul Murdaugh. And the down towards the end of the lean-to is you can see the covered body of Miss Maggie Murdaugh.
And those bodies appear to be covered with pink sheets.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, were those sheets there when you got there?
No, ma'am. We got those off the ambulance and covered up the bodies.
Why did you do that?
We typically do it to, to shield the bodies from the view of the public. There were a lot of people showing up there. The family was on the scene, and people just really don't need to see that.
Case Exhibit 24. Please describe what the jury's viewing.
That is the body of Paul, and he is laying face down at the entrance to, there's like a little utility room at the kennels. He is laying down with, you can see there's substantial damage to his head with a lot of blood around his head and what appeared to be his brain down there around his ankles.
And this is how you found Paul.
That is correct.
And you said that appears to be his brain down there by his foot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at this point, did you check his pulse?
I did not check his pulse. He and his mother both had injuries that we consider incompatible with life. There was a lot of coagulation there where the blood had congealed, and they were not currently bleeding, which would indicate they did not have a heartbeat. And obviously, with his type of injuries, he, it's not any way you could sustain his life.
And State Exhibit 51.
That is Miss Maggie, and she also had severe injuries to her head. You can also see the congealed blood around the bottom where her face is, and she had a hole in her head to where you could actually see inside of her head cavity.
Was it necessary to check Mrs. Murdaugh's pulse or perform any life-saving treatment?
No, ma'am. And she also had injuries that were not sustainable.
In State Exhibit 49. That's just where.
That's the lean-to, and that's Miss Maggie's body in front of the little side-by-side.
Thank you. I have no further questions for this witness at this time.
Cross-examination.
One moment. You're the chief of the Colleton County Fire Rescue, correct?
That is correct.
And you, in the past, have had dealing with Alex Murdaugh in a professional capacity with his law firm, correct?
That is correct.
So you recognized him and you'd seen him before, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was his demeanor grieving, distraught, upset?
He seemed to be very upset. Yes, sir.
Very upset. Now, I've got just a very few questions for you. But when you responded, and I'm going to try to get the picture, I think. You recognize this from the night of June 7th?
That is correct.
And those headlights facing us, Are those the headlights from the Suburban?
That would be a vehicle that was south of the location, so the police car would have been north.
Right, but is that Mr. Murdaugh's vehicle, or do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay. So when you got there, you indicated to somebody that they needed to preserve some tire tracks, correct?
That is correct. Over to the right-hand side, there's 3 rows of, I guess where they could park equipment underneath the lean-to. And the farthest one over, there was no equipment in it, but there were some tire tracks coming out of it.
And I mean, how did you come to see those? Did you drive? You drove in off of Moselle Road, correct?
I drove in off of Moselle Road. The deputy parked in this little driveway here between the kennel and the lean-to.
Right.
I parked at the end of the lean-to. Where I was at, I activated my scene lights, which are all the way across the front of the light bar.
The scene lights,
They're
high intensity lights.
high intensity, bright white lights.
Okay.
So it was very dark, and I could see the tire tracks over to the right.
So as we look at this view,
They're not visible in this picture.
I understand that, but
Okay.
would the area you were be
To the right,
this side or the other?
other side.
Okay, over to this side.
That is correct.
And on the other side of the shed right here?
More to the bottom,
Over to the bottom.
to the
Okay.
right.
So let me, maybe we have a video of this, it'll be a little easier for you to look at. So as you look at, stop it 1 second. I'll go back the other, okay, back it up a little bit. From this perspective, can you see that perspective right there?
Yes, sir.
Hold on,
If you back up just a little bit,
back it up.
right, if you'll stop it
Stop.
there,
Go back.
you can see the workshop on the left.
How about do this? How about step down here, please? So we all sing the same sheet of music. If you'd stand over that way so these jurors could see.
There's a workshop right here,
Uh-huh.
and there's a row here,
Uh-huh.
a row here, and a row here. This row is where the tire tracks were.
And the crime scene is where?
Right there's this Maggie's body is, and that's Paul's body.
Okay. And how far is it from where you saw those tire tracks to where their bodies were approximately?
20, 30 feet.
20 or 30 feet. And you saw, now this was gravel, grass, dirt,
Kind of similar, but
sandy, but distinct tire tracks.
yes, sir. Like
And-
one pair of tire tracks.
One pair. Okay. And you couldn't tell which direction they were going in, or
Could
you're not
have been coming in, could have been going out.
a tire expert, are you?
No, sir.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and have a seat.
Thanks.
So, whose attention did you bring that to?
Brought it to the attention of one of the deputies. I don't recall which one.
Was it
it was.
Green, Deputy Green?
I don't recall.
But one of the Colleton County deputies.
Yes, sir.
And you indicated to him that it needed to be preserved, needed to be roped off, needed what?
I showed them to him and told him, I said, hey, there's some tire tracks over there. We tried to block off the driveway. I had one of our units stay out on Moselle Road, but a lot of vehicles kept driving around them. There was civilian vehicles kept coming in, and then it began raining. So at that point,
So after you told, he didn't put any yellow tape up to block it?
no, sir. They had yellow tape in front of our vehicles where we were parked, but they didn't put any yellow tape down there.
And vehicles drove around your vehicle and just drove up and down that road,
Yes, sir.
destroying the tire track?
Well, the ones that were on the road part, not the ones under the shed.
Okay. But to your knowledge, while you were there, did anybody take any pictures of those tire tracks?
I have no idea, no, sir.
Okay. Did you see any other pieces of forensic evidence, if you will, while you were there, other than tire tracks?
There were shell casings around Miss Maggie's body.
Okay. Now, did you go over and examine Paul's body?
Yes, sir.
Did you go in the feed room?
No, sir.
Were you very careful around the body?
Yes, sir. And the sheriff's department started putting up the yellow tape, and as they did that we backed up and got behind it.
So I just need to go to another. No, it's right there. Watch this video and then I need to ask you a couple questions. Is this the area you were talking about with the retire track?
They're over to the left. They're over to the left.
Okay, but all these vehicles that are parked up there?
That's the driveway coming in.
Okay. And then you're saying after that is where these tire tracks were?
Yes, they're over to the left of this police car. You can see my vehicle was the red and white Tahoe. Maybe 15 feet to the left of that was where the tire tracks were.
And you pointed those out to the Colleton County Sheriff's deputy, said they needed to be preserved.
I just showed them to them. I didn't tell them what to do with them.
Thank you. No further questions.
Redirect. Thank you, sir. You may step
Thank you,
down.
Your Honor.
Call your next witness.
State calls Jason Chapman.
Thank you.